y'all? Welcome back again. This is now the basically final portion. For the most part, I don't know. Let me know. Do you guys want the tier four? I don't know, but I'm just gonna do the tier three, right? Which is gonna be your medic slash corpsman. That's typically the highest level people will be taught um, in Arma 3 units, just because it's in the confines of Arma 3, right? Um, Anyway, what we have access to now is the MFAC, and you can see it is very, very juicy compared to the AFAC and the IFAC. Very, very juicy. So two cat tourniquets, three pulse oximeters, two SAM splints, four chest seals, three pressure bandage and emergency trauma dressing, five elastic wrap, two fent lozenges, one paracetamol pack, one Panthrox inhaler, a portable O2 tank, two Crite kits, a BVM, four MPA, two OPA, two iGel, one EDSB, um, two fast ones, two EZs, three 16 gauge and three 14 gauge IV needles, two CTKs, two thoracostomy kits, 4 units of O negative blood, 2 units of plasma, and two 500 mil or 2 unit um, vampire kits, which will give you two fresh blood. Um, you have an AccuVac, a surgical kit, 15 sutures, stethoscope, pressure cuff, and an AED. This kit, ideally, should treat about 3 severe casualties and still be able to treat 2 additional wounded. Um, so basically, you could treat a full squad with this one bag, and because of how juicy it is, you probably don't want to be carrying it yourself. I mean, you can, but personally, I would just keep it in. Like, if we infill via helicopter, and that helicopter is going to be on station, or if we have Humvees, JLTVs, whatever, then you can just keep it in there as long as you know where it is. I mean, because at least the reason why I do that is because typically when we roll ground, like we're basically playing hiking simulator for a little bit, so that all of that weight will just rack up, and then you're stopping every 2 minutes, um, taking more time to get to the objective. So, and, I already have an AFAC, which by myself could treat about 2 casualties, maybe 3, because I'm also taking into account everyone has an IFAC, right? Which their IFAC should sustain them. The AFAC just gives you the meds. Um, anyway, I'm not gonna harp onto that. We're just gonna go ahead and get right on into it. So I'm gonna pre-unpack everything. So, and just like the last 2 videos or last video, I'm not going to explain the March process. You guys can, you know, watch the previous videos or look them up. And let's see, that should be everything. Yeah, repack, 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 and repack. Cool. All right. So yeah, everything's unpacked now. I'm also going to unpack my AFAC. And there we go. Yeah, this is very fun, just unpacking everything. And the reason why I'm unpacking my IFAC, I mean, it shouldn't have to be said, but the AI, they don't have an IFAC on them. So, I mean, you could probably set up their kits to do that, but at least when you spawn these dudes in, it doesn't happen. So, because I'm using the ACM trainer. So I'm thinking for this one, we should do a immediate, typically it'll be a GSW. Like, you don't really see too many explosions, which is why I do GSWs. But I'll still do explosions every now and again. We'll probably do two, probably do a GSW and then do an explosion. Um, but the GSWs tend to be more, give you more work than an explosion. But it's all randomized when it spawns, so we'll see. Let's see. What do we got? Oh yeah, see, look at that. Like he's pretty screwed up. So off rip, we're going to apply our tourniquets. I'm not even like, yeah, just we need to get this dude treated as fast as possible because in his current state he will degrade rapidly. Um, we don't want that. So the faster we treat him, the better off he is, and the better off we are. So cool. We're just gonna simulate. This is a player. We used his IFAC, whatever, or we used ours, and we're just gonna take his. But cool. Now we're gonna immediately intervene with the chest. Those are four, avulsions. He's pretty banged up. So he got ripped apart by a PKM. So whatever. This dude is very likely dead. Yep. All right. Well, not dead, but anyway. So I checked his airway. I'm gonna immediately intervene with an eye gel. His airway will pretty much never collapse with an eye gel. So I'm not going to waste time with something else. Cool. Now we're going to go ahead and move on with cool. Airway's good. This is good. We're going to go chest seal him. And then I'm immediately going to have to get into CPR. But since I don't have access to the limbs, any of them, we're going to do a fast IO. I already know he's going to need fluid, so we're going to push a couple units of blood on him. Probably push like 3. Yeah, I'll just do like 1500 real quick. Alright, cool. Now, since we did our first unit of blood, right, we need to, oh, I need to add TXA to the kit. Oops. And calcium. Oops. Silly me. Yep, gotta fix that. That's what I forgot to add. Anyway. Yeah, let's grab our, what we're gonna need. Epinephrine. That. Probably push some TXA as well. Cool. Good to go. Alright. Gonna need to treat this dude faster, right? Oh, can you not push meds through the fast? Oh, I guess not. Anyway, alright, screw it. I'm just gonna have to intervene with an IV this time. Hopefully I get a hopefully I get something. So let's go ahead and insert the IV. Fail to locate, so we're gonna go easy IO on that. Alright, cool. Now from there, I should not tripping. My rolls should be fine. Is he dead? No, he's alive. See? His head moving. I'm so confused. I should be able to... You see, I knew I had all the pharmaceuticals. Yeah, I already had TXA and calcium. Oh. Gotta add the needles. Alright, let's clear that. Oh, retarded. Anyway, let's go ahead and redo that. See, that is why we do testing. Yeah, so let's grab one of each needle. Now she should be good to go. Man, I'm all over the place, I tell you what. I'm not even gonna bother like editing it out because, you know, it's the same process. Doing everything. You know, you just follow the March process. You're good to go. It'll never fail you. Alrighty. Alright, everything should be good to go and unpacked. Yep. Everything's unpacked. Cool. I'm just gonna unpack the IFAC because we're gonna simulate that I grabbed the dude's IFAC, and we're gonna use that stuff first. It just gives us some extra supplies to use. Alright, cool. So we're gonna say boop immediate GSW. There we go. Alright, cool. Alright, cool beans. So off rip, you know, right? We're doing our immediate intervention. Doing our sweep, doing our TQ. Boop 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 boop. Like, yeah. Alright, cool. Fun. Now let's go ahead. Alright, I see he has extensive bruising, so that means he has a hemothorax, right? So we're gonna go ahead and treat this airway after the head because we don't want him bleeding any further than he already is. Alright, cool. So we treated that. We're gonna go ahead and move to the airway section, right? So lightly obstructed, should easily just head turn, eye gel, call it a day. Alright, yep, good to go. Gonna eye gel him, and then we don't have to worry about that airway recollapsing. So now from this case, since I see that, he will degrade extremely fast. So from this point, right, I just want to take a moment. Since he likely has a hemothorax. Oh, nice. It stopped. But we're still going to perform a thoracostomy anyway, right? So because he has a hemothorax, or I suspect he does, I will say either yourself or your someone with a long range radio, typically a JTAC or your PJ team lead, whatever the case may be, your squad lead, whatever, will then perform the Casevac procedure. So 9 lines, set up the LZ, etc., and you'll prep the casualty to move. So in this case, I'm going to perform thoracostomy, right? Lung inflating normally, good to go. And go ahead, insert a chest tube. Make sure he's good to go. We're going to go ahead and, since I have the AccuVac, this just makes it very quick to drain fluid. No blood drain, good to go. I just wanted to make sure because he had extensive bruising. So from there, we're going to close up that incision, apply a chest seal. And good to go. So from there, airway, that's done. Massive hemorrhaging is done. I'm going to also place a pulse ox. Just give us live vitals, right? I could see he has a weak SpO2, a pretty chunky heart rate, and that's simply just because, we did a surgical procedure on him. So yeah. And with major trauma on the airway, the head, you want to keep in mind um, of a what's it called? A crike. That's probably gonna be like very severe, more than two large avulsions. Anyway, before I get ahead of myself, so from here, right, the reason why his SpO2 won't go up is because he needs fluids, right? So off rip, like watch, I'm gonna check his cap refill, and I guarantee it's gonna be like 4 seconds. There you go, just less than 4 seconds. So from there, we're gonna go ahead, insert an IV. Doesn't matter if it's 14 gauge, 16 gauge. A 14 gauge is just slightly bigger than a 16, um, but personally, I don't care about it. So I'm just gonna do my 16, and I'm gonna push like 3 units on this dude. After the first unit, a unit being 500 milliliters, is when you give 1 cc basically of um, oh, I forgot to add that, your calcium chloride. So let's go ahead and just add that to our kit real quick. I gotta fix this in the settings. Yep, boop. Crazy. Cool. All right. Go ahead and administer calcium. Go ahead and do our 10 mil, and you do a full injection of that. I'm doing the IV way because it immediately activates, so you're good to go. So after the first unit of blood, you do 1 gram of calcium, or 10 milliliters, and every I forget if it's so it's every 5, but I think after the next 4 is when you do the next one, and then it's 5 after that. But either way, you do every 5 after the first administration of 1 gram is then an additional gram of calcium. So from here, we can see based off of that, monitoring the pulse ox, pulse rate goes down, SpO2 goes up, his airway is fine. I saw that he had trauma, and it almost seemed like he might have had internal, so that's why I did the thoracostomy. Didn't see anything, stitched it up, good to go. And from this point on, the casualty is ready for medical evacuation. So I'm just going to downgrade him to delayed, a yellow. You could keep him on yellow or keep him on red. It's up to you, whatever status you want to use. But he should be good after those 3 units of blood. His pulse, beautiful. Cap refill. Let's check what that is. Just more than 3. So I'm gonna go ahead and transfuse another unit real quick. If I could guess, he needs a unit and probably 250 more. Yeah, from there, we'll just monitor that cap refill real quick. He should only need this. Okay, no, he's good. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the transfusion. We're going to keep it attached, though. We're just not going to keep it flowing. So from here, all right, boom, helicopter's coming in, because this dude will 1000% need to be medevaced. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So if you being the medic on scene in this case, this is like one of those casualties that will be put on a helicopter and airlifted out. And if a helicopter's not available, then, do a ground evac. I'm just going through, tightening everything up, and then good to go. Personally, I would have been so much faster, but obviously I'm teaching this little course here. So that's why. Boop. And then this should be the last thing. Good to go. And then cool. I'm gonna attach the pressure cuff, and then I'm going to take off the tourniquet. Cool. Everything's wrapped up. If I wanted to, I could stitch them up, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Just because I have the time. And obviously, since I'm not in combat, and then since everything's stitched up, good to go, I'm going to remove these tourniquets. I'm the medic. I'm going to make that determination that he's okay. And cool. So from here, his pulse rate is beautiful. SpO2 is beautiful. So from here, honestly, you could wake him up. He could be a walking wounded. But obviously, I said it before. He will already be airlifted out from this point. So, as I just want to hit on, like, as for the thoracostomy, once the extensive bruising disappeared, it's not something that has to be done, if that makes sense, right? I did it from my perspective because I wanted to be sure, right? Which is no harm, no foul. You just do it, you seal up your incision, good to go. So better be safe than sorry. That's what I did, and found nothing. He's good to go. Because your first thought should be when you see that, oh, internal bleeding. And you'll see it on all these limbs. You obviously can't do a thoracostomy on a limb, but if it's on a limb, right? Say it happens to the arm, all you do, you'll insert your 10 milli vanilli. You'll do 1 gram of TXA. You'll push it, and then there you go. And one last little thing. Some people pre-draw their meds. Personally, I don't, because I only carry like one of each syringe. But that's just me personally. So, if anything, your first draw will be calcium, obviously. But yeah, anyway, this dude's good to go. He's green. You can see his vitals there, and they're just getting better. Cool. Now we're on the helicopter. He's getting airlifted out. We're good. Yeah. If there's any questions, comments, concerns, make fun of me for the first little mess up. I don't care. But yeah, if y'all want a tier 4, I could do that. But it's really nothing different than what I just taught with this tier 3. That's why I said, I believe it was the last video, like a tier 3/4, because everything I did is what you would do at the tier 4 level anyway. So like that's really it. Like you would, like, I guess the only other addition would be the AED, really, which I guess I can't attach because whatever reason for that. But yeah, I mean, other than that, that's why I said tier 3/4. Because everything I just did is pretty much what you would do. He didn't go cardiac, so I couldn't exactly teach that, which is where your amiodarone comes in. You don't need atropine because I don't have the setting enabled. But yeah, this is nerve agent exposure. So you got adenosine, amiodarone, epi, which, say this dude went cardiac. You would do your unit, or not unit, you would do your jaw epi, do boop, draw and push, and then immediately start CPR, and then your partner in crime will do a bag valve mask. And since you're running the MFAC anyway, you would do BVM with O2. It's a lot better than regular BVM. Because obviously BVM without the O2. I guess since he's, on con, I'll do a surgical airway. That's you still would have, like, if it required it, you would have done it anyway. So again, like, I'm not gonna keep beating it at her. That's why it would be a tier 3/4. But anyway, you pretty much do like about here, give or take. Just do that, do your little incision, and then, yep, do that. Oh, silly me. And then you pretty much do an incision there. Oh, did not do it. Okay, I think that worked. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Lift the incision. Do our crike kit, right? Oh, where is it? Next strap. No. Oh, you know what I have to do? I have to take out the. It's been so long since I did a crike. Yeah, remove that. Um, inflate that, and then connect that. Secure the strap. Boom. Pretty much done. And should be it, no? Yeah. Oh, strapped, incision open. And then, yeah, you would just stitch it. Cool. Did Blue update it? I don't know. Because, yeah, there's like nothing else I could have done. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think when it first came out, it was just you made the incisions, tracheal hook, inserted the tube, and then you just inflated and then strapped it, call it a day. So, good to go. Incision closed, surgical airway strapped. You don't even need the eye gel anymore. This dude is perfectly fine. Yep, cool. Anyway, I'm not gonna keep playing around. Like, you could love the ACM trainer. You do so much with it. But anyway, thanks for watching. This info helped, like I said before. Anyway, ciao.